Welcome to our LinkedIn live stream. My name is Gerhard Schwantner, and we have with us Dayne Williams. Dayne, what are you famous for?
Well, I probably am infamous for a couple of things, but I like to be famous for sitting at that intersection between kind of the go-to-market strategy, packaging up value and aligning that to process development and so forth. So those are my specialties. What about you, Gerhard? What are you famous for after all these years?
Well, I look at the track record of companies that come in the market and then all of a sudden by a blip that disappear. And I am famous for consistent success. I've studied a lot of very successful people, and flash in the pan success, it's not for me. I like to have consistent success, and I've done it for over 4 decades. And my passion is about elevating the profession of selling, but also helping sales leaders build a revenue engine that delivers consistent growth. And when you think about it, revenue engines that you use to compete, they're often wear out or become obsolete. And that's why we have the Sales 3.0 conference in Las Vegas, so we can share new ideas. And I'm so excited, Dayne, because we have 2 perspectives. We have the practitioner's perspective, and those are your peers, and they will be on stage. Mm-hmm. And then we have the industry analysts from Forrester, from McKinsey, from Deloitte. And those are the people who look at everything with a microscope. They analyze the market. They make us aware of new trends. And but here's the best part. They're also people that are innovators. I just had a fascinating conversation this morning with a company that is in the coaching space, that is automating coaching, which is wickedly difficult. Mm-hmm. But once I saw the solution, and it's still in beta, I was totally blown away by their vision that I think is better than anything I've ever seen in the market. And I have a nose for successful businesses, because when I first met with Mark Benioff, I realized Salesforce.com is going to be a huge runaway success. And I think that company is going to be a huge unicorn within 3 or 4 years. And I know that they're going to be at the show, and I hope you meet them, because they have a wait list of 50 companies that want to get their solution, but they can't get it yet. And they have 4 companies that have tested with and gets phenomenal results. So if you right now experience frustration, what you need is innovation, not resignation.
I like that. So you did a little play on words there. What do you tend to see when people sort of drop back into resignation mode? What does that tend to look like?
Well, I think that what is really fascinating to me is that we have a word in German called Zeitgeist. And the Zeitgeist is the spirit of our time, of our times. And to make a play on words, today it's almost like a poltergeist, meaning scary things on the horizon. There are the thunderclouds of war, I mean, we have several wars that people are protesting all over the country now. Students, they're fed up with destruction, and they want to build a better world. Mm-hmm. Look at the political divisiveness that's out there and the uncertainty that comes with it. What's the future of America going to be? Mm-hmm. And there is the economic uncertainty, and interest rates are still being too high, and people are waiting in the sidelines with their money bags, and they're not going to invest until the economic climate is better. So there are a lot of headwinds also from a technology perspective, because a lot of technology companies are suffering right now because they don't get the renewals they want and need in order to bring their companies to the next level. So when you have uncertain times, this is not the time to hide. This is the time to listen to other people and how do they process things. And when I look at the very successful people, they look at problems at nothing but wake-up calls for creativity. And the creativity comes out of conversations.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Well, and it's funny, as you were describing some of these challenging and scary macro factors, all of that is playing out in the backdrop, or even to some extent the foreground of the organizations that we're trying to run every day. The customers you're trying to sell to, they're troubled by these things. Your salespeople, your key players inside your organization, they're troubled by these things. So I liked how you started out talking about the revenue engine and how this is not a static proposition. It got me thinking, Gerhard, there's really two types of vehicle analogies we could look at. We can look at the family van, that's steady and reliable. We can always take it out, fire it up on a sunny Sunday afternoon, pack the kids in, and it's going to do what it needs to do. What do we tend to do? We tend to maintain that once a year, right? Maybe twice a year. Oil change, tune up, the whole 9 yards. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have your NASCAR race car. And that's an entirely different model of upgrade, calibration, keeping pace with, sort of what we need to do to maintain competitiveness. And so I sometimes wonder, especially if you're a company that has enjoyed success in the past, if we don't treat our revenue engine more like the Sunday van versus the high octane, high performing NASCAR model. What do you think?
Well, I think you want to build the revenue engine with the customer in mind, because ultimately, if you have a sophisticated, highly expensive revenue engine based on a lot of technology, and customers don't like to engage with that particular technology, you're cooked. You're not going to grow.
Right.
So you want to build the revenue engine with the customer in mind and engineer backwards so that you achieve twin goals: higher level of customer engagement and satisfaction, and higher level of sales engagement and sales satisfaction. Because when you think about leadership in general, you always want to think about three constituents. You want to think about creating value for your company, creating value for your customer, and creating value for your people. And maybe there's a fourth, which is creating value for community. So when you think about the revenue engine, you always need to keep in mind, what value does that engine create for, and the younger generation? They're not just interested in money. They're more interested in meaning. What is the why behind what we're doing? And why is that important? Because the bigger the why for them, the bigger the try, and the higher your ROI.
You rhymed again. I think you're on a roll. I like it. Yeah, well, and people sort of say, all right, well, that's great, Gerhard, Dayne, got to have a great engine. It has to be dynamic. Got to upgrade it. So where do I start? And what I would say to that is, well, we all know that sort of sales process, aligning go-to-market with your sales process, with what I would say a key sort of exoskeleton that needs to wrap around all of that. And that is the voice of the customer experience journey that you want to create, so that they're having exceptional interactions from the moment they start engaging with your company all the way through to, if you're a renewal-based business, up to that time that you need them to renew. And that doesn't happen by chance. That's a very thoughtful, cross-stitch innovation.
Absolutely. And I think we should give people some compelling reasons why they need to come to Vegas, because everybody wants to win. And if you come to Vegas, you will meet with winners. Two categories. One, the winners of the CRO of the Year Award. And I've looked at the application. I mean, it is amazing what they've achieved. And I'm inviting those CROs on stage to share for 3 minutes, one best practice. And we film that. We're going to create an ebook with that as well. So we're going to create a lot of content, and you can see it live. And you can meet those winners and rub elbows with them and attend dinners with them. And then there is the Revenue Enablement Excellence Awards. We have about 18 applications now. The judges are looking through those. And we're probably going to end up with 12 or more winners of the award. And again, they will share their best ideas with you. So if you need new ideas, come and join us, because this is a gold mine of ideas that help you grow your business, grow your revenue engine, grow your people, and grow the money bags that you have in your office.
I think we all agree that that's a great goal. I love that you talked about revenue enablement, because that's the focus to a large extent of a lot of my work. What I would say is you've got a profession there that's a bit in flux. It has been for quite some time, but that role really has the opportunity to play a significant strategic lever for you. And a lot of times they're really underutilized. They're utilized much more in sort of a tactical way. I feel like these awards and the accompanying case studies are going to give you a lot of ideas on how to upgrade the revenue or sales enablement function within your business. And that alone is worth the price of admission. The other thing I would say is, listen, I have no doubt that you have great people around you in your business every day, but let's be honest, it can become a bit of an echo chamber. You hear the same things from the same people. This is your opportunity to truly work on your business, not just in the business, so that the best of both worlds can bubble up for you in the rest of 2024.
That is an excellent point. And there's one more surprise, that you are going to give the winners of the CRO Award a copy of your book. Tell us why sales leaders need to read your book.
Yeah, so I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. The Diligence Fix is really a culmination of 20 years of passive pattern recognition through the access that I've had to hundreds of CEOs, CROs, and so forth, all the way down the line. And it didn't matter what industry you were in, how mature your model was, the same fundamental issues continued to destabilize the infrastructure of the sales organization, and thereby reduce the ability to grow to higher tiers of revenue. So while a lot of people are looking for the next shiny object, Gerhard, I like to see people return back to the fundamentals. And so this book lays out in a very step A, step B, step C format, the fundamentals of operating a high functioning sales organization. So even if you get one idea out of it, you'll be that much more better off. So I'm excited to share that with our winners, and frankly, anyone else who wants a copy.
You got to bring some extra copies for people who want to seek you out and network with you.
Sure. I'm all about sharing ideas, not pushing solutions.
How much do you charge for an autograph?
It depends on who's asking.
Well, I got the book on my desk and I love it. I think it's a great read, Dayne. And I know how hard it is to distill 20 years of experience into a book. It probably took you almost a year to write that book.
Probably a little more, considering the first one was the first draft was a cathartic experience, and then it started taking shape. So yes.
Right. But what I like about the word diligence, it's so synonymous with consistent success, and I think that's why we think alike. I think we want to help people getting a lot better with the basics, and 5% incremental improvement with the basics will have a cumulative effect. And I've done enough sales training and coaching, and I've seen what you are teaching applied and lead to, doubling their income. So salespeople really can benefit from that.
That's right.
Well, I am so excited. Can't wait to see you in Las Vegas, Dayne. And I want to invite anybody in the audience to click on the link that we are going to publish below. This is a rate that is certain to pay, and click on the link and sign up today. Thanks, Dana.
Thanks, Gerhard.
That was